Hello, guys, and welcome to episode 6 of What If Civilization Started on Another Planet, or as I will from here on out now be calling it, What If Civilization Started on Anthrurias, which is this custom world I made. I made it a bit ago, but still. Um, just a quick recap on the last episode. We can we saw some more expansion out, especially out to the east. Um, I think there was like a war here. I don't really remember what all happened though. So, yeah. Um, I'm just going to you probably noticed this map is a bit different from the last map. And at the end of this episode and beginning next episode, it's also going to look pretty different because I accidentally saved one map file as the other map file. It was a whole thing. So, yeah, I messed up and now restarted this. So lucky provinces exist. Alright, but anyway, let's get started in today's episode. And stick around for the end of this episode for a surprise announcement that you guys probably aren't expecting. So to start off, we're coming over here as these three nations being the Lime team, the Brown team, and these little orange guys. I don't know. Um, this decent bigger. All right. We see these three countries kind of moving in to discover this area. Turn on TL. Well, I think. All right. But we see these three countries kind of move in here. They don't discover all of the mountains, but they discover quite a bit. And very quickly, we see the Lime team will make a move and expand up, going pretty far to the north, kind of taking over this entire area. As for the Brown team, they don't move down too much. They especially do move down along the coast here, and they're hoping to stop the Lime team from expanding much further. Tensions between these two nations are still rising a bit. We see them also slowly expand into this mountainy area. They take full control of this river, which is very good for them. Right. Sorry, that's annoying to me, and I don't know why. Alright. As for this little orange team, they do take all of that and move up against the border of the brown team, leaving this area for them to split. Uh, you guys don't see this. Okay? Okay. Alright. We see the blue team and the red team explore out into this area. This area probably should have been explored a while ago, because this is very fertile lands, and they know about that. So we see the red team, the yellow team, the blue team, the purple team, the lime team, and the cyan team all working together to discover all of this. And as they expand into it, we see the blue team, they kind of move along their borders, but also move up this way a bit more. I genuinely forgot what was supposed to happen. I was just going to look at the map again and then didn't. So, yeah. Alright. We see the red team, they move in and take a lot of land. The purple team down here, they kind of don't take as much as the red team, but they do take quite a bit. As for the lime team, they aren't left with too much, but they do expand up to the border of the cyan team and then kind of in this area too. And they decide to move their colony up a bit further. And the rest of this kind of just goes over to the cyan team. So there. Good for cyan team. Alright. We see the blue team. They kind of choose to take on a more expansionist policy. So we see them exploring this area first, as they want to, in a sense, devour the resources of this region. They do expand out this way just to connect up a bit, and then they move, and then they start moving a bit more north. They also move out this way, kind of cutting off the pink team, but they make a deal with the pink team, basically saying, hey, if you guys didn't, since you guys didn't expand into this area before us, um, we're just gonna kind of make sure you stay alive. And the pink team will accept that. We also see this area here kind of be discovered a bit more as a new, quicker passage route is made through there. And then where we really see stuff take place is over in here. And you see the gold team explore out a little this way. But for the most part, we see them and the red team exploring all the way up on along this lake. Eventually, it kind of gets to the point where the gold team's like, okay, send people back. They're getting too far. But the red team keeps sending people out this way. They discover these islands. And the red team's like, you know what? Why don't we just go up and settle these islands? So they make a colony right here. We then see the red team kind of move into this area, and they take over a bunch of it. The gold team also expands out in this area, however, not as much. And now, now see the gold team, even the blue team a little, mainly the gold team, the red team, and even the yellow team discovering all of this. The yellow team even discovers this island and decides they're going to take some of it. So they take about half the island. We now come up over here as we see the teal team. They keep discovering along the coast, but um, they're like kind of supported by the brown team. But the brown team kind of wants this area that they don't really know about, but they do know about at the same time first. So they want to cut off the teal team so that they can kind of get any land up here because they know it keeps going. So we see them discovering out into all of this. And the brown team will be the second, not really second country, more like the third country to make a decently long distanced colony. And it's actually a pretty big one, too. Right. As for these countries, we see them all kind of wanting to expand more, or expand and explore more north. And in fact, we see this so much that we just see all of this kind of get discovered pretty much all at once. This area here also similar to the other mountain range. Kind of moved in a bit more on, but not fully discovered yet. And for expanding in this area, pretty simple. We see this red team kind of expands up a bit here. And also they expand over here, mainly kind of focusing along the coast. The cyan team, they expand a little up here, but mostly focus on it. Instead expanding south into this non-fertile area versus the somewhat fertile but forested area that's better for living. But I mean, it is harder to conquer, so their choice. You see the teal team, they move up, taking over like this area here. And we see the purple team kind of work with the teal team in a way to cut off the red team from expanding anymore up north. You're gonna see remnants like this. I had to like remake the map from the next episode. Or not next episode, but like basically the next episode. So, you know, at the end of the episode, I'll just show you guys what the next episode's gonna look like, and then do the announcement. This green team here, we see them explore up a little bit, not too much, but the reason that they do this is because the red team and the yellow team have done this. And they also fully discovered the entire coast of this area. They also explored like this. And now, realizing there is a whole bunch of fertile land, almost as fertile as the land right along this river, but seeing there's more rivers, we see a whole bunch of people from all of these countries, except for weirdly this. They're green. I knew they were green. Alright, uh, this country is the only country that we don't see more people moving into. So we see a whole bunch of moving from into these countries. But with this whole flock of new people, we see we see a lot of expansion is needed to fit them in. Right. So we see the red team expands out a bit here. And actually, they probably realistically take more like this. And the gold team. We see them kind of take up more like this. Not moving it a whole too much. And up here, we actually see a new country forming. Actually starts off on this island. Kind of a pinkish color. The actual color is not this, but yeah, close enough. And they also take over like part of this coast. And then we see after like realizing, hey, these two rivers are actually like going to be really useful. We see a huge push for people to move up along these rivers, which goes pretty well. And we see people also discovering along the coast because this is still fertile areas. Even these two islands eventually are discovered, and it's eventually decided that they're going to map out this entire area and fill it in with 2 countries. The first being the pink team, who follows this river for the most part to like right here, and then just comes down like this. That's one, and then the other one is a more purple country, maybe. I don't know. They kind of take over more like this. But the whole reason people even came over here in the first place was because they wanted to go east. And we see more people wanting to do that as we see tensions, especially between the gold and the red teams, kind of brewing up more. So we see people want to go more east. We see some people discover a bit north, but for the most part, we see a decently sized group of people moving east here. And then they find this river and they're like, this is perfect. Then they find this river and say, this is even more perfect. So yeah, perfect for them, I guess. Oh, eventually like, they discover down here and stuff. And they make a really dark blue country. So I like dark blue. No, that does not make me biased on this country totally. But yeah, so dark blue country forms here. And also, after some ash comes over from one of the volcanoes that erupted here, specifically on this island, you see the green team, who also happens to have a volcano of their own over here, or not, actually it's down here, kind of near their capital. But they know volcanoes equals, they know a volcano means there's possibly, maybe, probably fertile land, because that the volcano here kind of created all of their fertile land. So they discover this island. They do not kind of they don't claim over it yet, but they're like, yeah. And hearing of an island, some of the people who actually wanted to move out this way, who didn't quite make the journey, they're like, okay, what if we just sail to these islands? And they eventually land on this island where they kind of just create their own nation here and claim this island to be its own thing. Right. Now, we're going to kind of come back to the Lime team. Let's fix that. And then we see the Lime team. They set sail, stop at this colony to refuel, and then they set out even further and eventually make a landing here and colonize this area. And the pink team now is like really glad they signed that pact with the blue team. But we now come back to the we now come back over here, specifically to the red team, for a very major event that is not very popular amongst a lot of people. The red team and the purple team make an alliance. Oh no. Why didn't... I'm not too sure why that was 2 things, but okay. That's not on the scene here. Okay. Well, anyway, not only does the red team like unionize with those people, but they also happen to want better coastal access. Cyan team, Yorkie. And seeing as this is happening, the lime team and brown team are like, oh, not family friendly word. We need to get a team up quick because, especially the lime team, they're like, the red team's easily stronger than us now. We need to get people on our side. They could invade us. And so we see 3 alliances be made. The Circle Alliance, led by the Lime team, includes the Circle team, or the Circle team, this small cyan team, this small yellow team, this blue team, and and for some odd reason, this tan team up here, who's not really important. Nobody really cares about them. Alright, for the triangles, we see the brown team and this light green team form an alliance. This team who feels threatened by the red and lime team, they join the triangles because they're like, hey, someone who can't invade us. Good. Teal team and the purple team, and this purple team also joined the brown team. And yeah. As for the squares, it is only 2 nations. It's formed between the red and the orange team. The red team wanted to form an alliance with people because they're like, hey, these alliances together are stronger than us, so we need someone strong on our team. Orange team. The orange team's also surrounded by powers other than the red team. Or everyone surrounding the orange team is in an alliance other than the red team, so good to have someone near you on your side. They also happen to hate these guys. So, yeah, fun. I'm gonna be honest, I actually don't know if I put the tan team or the cyan team on in the circle alliance, but I think it was the tan team. So we're gonna go with that. Could completely alter the entire series. Could not. But anyway, we're now going to come back to the lime team for our final event. As we see the lime team sends out more ships. They hear about this island, they want to colonize it. They do a stop here, they do a stop here, and then they don't realize they don't know where to go. They know they have to go south, but at what point do they turn? They eventually never turn. Eventually taking them to, I think, this spot right here, and once realizing they have no idea where they are, they decide, screw the lime team, we're on our own. And we see the first nation, not on this continent, forms. And that will do it for the actual mapping part of this episode. However, I need to actually get the real map out so we can show that. You definitely notice this map is pretty different. Just like looking right here especially, very different. Actually not super bad. Lime team was a bit more greedy here. This map also has the real colors. I decided, initially I did have the red team as red here, but I kind of mixed the purple, red, and light blue to kind of make a purplish color. Um, the mint team I way overexpanded. They were actually very small. And I do remember the lore for them. There was only like about 600 people who survived that journey compared to original. There were multiple ships, um, and about there was about 700 people on each ship. However, all but one ship ended up having uh rat or like rats that were carrying a disease. The other people that died on that ship was just like weather and stuff like that. So there's lore for that. Yay. Yeah, the this red team definitely got underexpanded. Um, and yeah. Don't really remember all. What else? Oh, okay, one thing I wasn't sure was if there was another Yellow King war. I don't think there were any wars in that episode. So, yeah, this is the actual map. And now for the announcement. I'm nervous about doing this, but I'm going to have to eventually, so might as well do it. I am actually going trans. Male to female trans. So, yeah, this is this might be my voice for the next every episode. I'm not too sure. I'm going to see how it sounds in recording. My voice is still being worked on, and yeah. And the only things I ask are, like, please don't start asking me any personal questions. Um, I don't know if I have already, but I'm going to change the pronouns on YouTube and stuff. I would like to go by she, her pronouns. And yeah, this is also kind of part of why I wanted a rebrand. So, with that, I hope you enjoyed today's episode of What If Civilization Started on Anthrurias, and I will see you in the next one.